Hi and welcome back. If you're new to the channel, my name is Vince. Thanks for stopping by. You're very welcome here indeed. Now, as I've often said on the channel, I don't think NMN is a silver bullet. And as David Sinclair has often said, you can't just expect to take a pill, lay on the sofa, eat pizza and live a long and healthy lifespan. Many things go into living a long lifespan and also having a long health span too. Things such as good exercise, good diet and also sleep. When I started my experiment, I was getting in total about 7 or 8 hours sleep a night. Unfortunately, my deep sleep was only between 7 and 15%, which is not good. I can now regularly get anywhere between 20 and 43% deep rejuvenating sleep every night. Well, that's enough waffling for me. Let's jump into the presentation. You can see how I did it and how you can do it too. So in this presentation, I will explain what I did to double the percentage of deep sleep I can now get every night, and also why deep sleep is so important to us. So let's talk quickly about deep sleep and why it is so important. Why is deep sleep such a big deal? I was always told as long as you get around 7 to 8 hours total sleep a night, that should be enough. However, deep sleep has an ancient cleansing power and it clears waste from the brain. It's our body's way of taking out the trash. Waste clearance occurs whilst we're awake, but is substantially enhanced during deep sleep hours. This waste potentially includes toxic proteins that may lead to neuro-degenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Let's now look at my sleep stats for 2019. You can see here that my sleep on the 29th, 30th and 31st of October in 2019 was good. It was good as far as overall time is concerned, 7 hours 34, 7 hours 49 and 7 hours 10. But my deep sleep, the most important rejuvenating sleep, only accounted for 8% and 17 and 17% of that overall total. I've now managed to increase that to over 25%, and in some cases 40% of my overall sleep is now deep. I will tell you in this presentation how I did it and how you can do it too. I'd like to quickly talk about my fitness tracker. So as part of the My NMN experiment, I purchased a fitness tracker mainly to monitor my heart rate. Another function of this tracker is a sleep monitor, and it records my overall sleep, my light sleep, my deep sleep and the amount of time I'm awake. There's a link in the description below to the monitor I use. And I'm thinking about doing another video dedicated to the fitness tracker. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see that video. I recorded all the data as I experimented with different sleep aids, different techniques, types of food, what I ate, when I drank, if I drank alcohol, etc. And this was to help me build up a bigger, fuller picture. So now, unless there's an unexpected occurrence, and that normally revolves around my 3-year-old daughter, I can pretty much guarantee that I'm going to get between 7 and 8 hours sleep a night. But more importantly, over 20% of that sleep will be deep, rejuvenating sleep. So let's take a look at smart lights. With white light, blue light and green light being such an issue to our alertness and melatonin levels, I started to research smart light bulbs. These are bulbs I could program to dim and gradually turn red about 2 hours before I actually went to bed. Now when the whole house is dimmed red, it reminded me of the ops rooms I would often frequent when I was in the army. We tended not to use white light after the sun had gone down. I used these bulbs in my study, the living room and in the bedroom, and I used them in conjunction with blue light blocking glasses, which I will cover later. There's a link in the description below to the bulbs that I still use. You will need to download an app so you can control them from your smartphone. Let's talk about blue and green light blocking glasses. I listened to the likes of Dave Asprey, who extolled the virtues of blue and green light blocking eyewear, and he recommends you wear them during the day and during the night, especially when you're using computers. He was so convincing that I thought I would try these. It wasn't until later that I realized or found out he actually owns a company that sells these glasses. I also watched an interview with the Blue Block's CEO. Blue Blocks also sell similar types of glasses, a chap called Andy Mant, where he further explained the science behind how blue light affects our sleep patterns and circadian rhythms. Now, the science seemed unquestionable, so I purchased a pair of the glasses and I started to wear them. Well, did they work? Well, you put them on 2 hours before you go to sleep, and I have to admit they do certainly make you feel sleepy. I wore them over a period of a few months. I tried wearing them on and off before I went to bed. I made sure all the lights were out before I went to sleep and took them off. And if I got up during the night to use the toilet, I made sure that I either put the glasses on or I made sure that there was only red light when I went to the toilet. So what were the results? Well, for me, they made absolutely no difference whatsoever to my overall sleep. But more importantly, they didn't affect my deep sleep at all. Now, this may be different for you, and I'm guessing it's definitely different for Dave Asprey and Andy Mant, who have a financial reason for it working for them. But for me, it made absolutely no change whatsoever. So these glasses are now in the cupboard of broken dreams, along with my wife's yoga mat and my son's Wii Fit. So the next thing I tried was an eye mask, similar to the ones that you get given on the aircraft. I bought mine from Amazon and I tested it in the following ways. With the smart lights and nothing else. So red light around the house, go to bed, switch the red lights out and then put this eye mask on. I tried it with the blue blocking sunglasses and nothing else. So white lights in the house, put the red glasses on, all the lights out, take the glasses off and then put these on when I was actually in bed. And then the smart lights and the glasses, so red light in all of the house and these glasses on, and that was a very weird sensation. Up to bed, red lights out, and then this eye mask on. And then I tried it with bright white light and the eye mask, so no red lights, no blue blocking glasses, walk around the house, total white light, into the bedroom, white light, switch the white lights out and then put this mask on and go to bed. So did this improve my deep sleep? Yes, it did. The other thing, which was an added benefit, was it allowed me to walk around the house, watch TV and use my smartphone without having to wear the blue light blocking glasses. So it did improve my deep sleep, and we'll come on to how much later on. So this $13 eye mask that I bought from Amazon is now a consistent part of my nightly routine. And a couple of friends have said, well, doesn't that look weird? Well, the only person who actually sees it is my wife, and that's the second before I switch the light out and I put these on when I'm in bed, so no one actually sees it. And again, there's a link in the description below if you want to look at the ones I actually bought. Talk about blackout curtains. So we did purchase some second-hand blackout curtains, and because they weren't made to measure, they didn't quite fit the windows, and there were two very large floor-to-ceiling windows. And this meant a certain amount of light would bleed in from the lights outside and also from the sun in the morning. When we moved to the house that we're currently in, there's only one smaller window and we've got those 4 curtains and they now completely cover the window. And again, my deep sleep has improved. I think the blackout curtains and the eye mask are probably the biggest contributors to extending my deep sleep. Let's now talk about music and sleep. Listening to sleep music or sleep noises certainly helped when going to sleep, and there are many studies that bear this fact out. I found that I fell asleep quicker, or I thought I would fall asleep quicker, when I had music on in the background. And funnily enough, the most relaxing was actually the sound of rolling thunder and rain. And I've now got 4 audio files that I tend to rotate through on a nightly basis. And I'll upload a black screen video, one of the ones that I found most soothing, so you can try this also. Let's talk about temperature. It took me about 2 months to get the temperature in the bedroom that I liked, and the AC is now set to 23 degrees, which is 73.4 for the Americans. I also came across, as I was doing research on this, a chap called Dr. Matthew Walker. Now he states it's a scientific fact that your body and brain need to drop their core temperature by around 1 degree centigrade, which is 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit, to initiate sleep. He says that's why it's easier to fall asleep in a room that is too cold than it is to fall asleep in a room that is too hot. Following his advice, I also now take a warm shower before I go to sleep, and this ensures that my blood rushes to the extremities and away from the core. And when I get out of the shower, according to Dr. Walker, there's a massive dissipation of heat out through these extremities and my core temperature plummets. This adds to the cooling effect that everybody needs to be able to get to sleep. So let's talk about food and drink and my deep sleep. Again, the time and type of food, this took quite a few months of adjusting, working out what I was going to eat and when I was going to eat it before I went to bed. Also, what was I going to eat? Was it going to be a snack or would it be a full meal? This was really the most difficult one to try and work out. For example, one night I would eat steak and I would finish eating at 7:30 at night. I would go to bed, and then the next morning I would check my tracker and I'd had 25% deep sleep, and that was great. So I would replicate exactly what I did the next night, only to find that my deep sleep went down to 18%. It was very frustrating and difficult to work out if food had any impact on my deep sleep. And it wasn't until I'd perfected the dark sleep environment, so curtains and mask, and the relaxing music, and the temperature, that I realized actually what I ate and when I ate it made very little difference to my deep sleep levels at all. Even alcohol. So on the weekend, I would drink maybe 1 or 2 glasses of wine at night, and I would drink those right up until 10 p.m. and still now get 25% deep sleep and no reduction in my overall sleep either. That said, 1 or 2 glasses of wine once or twice a week is okay, and that's over a period of a few hours. That said, there was a few special occasions in the last year when I did drink more, birthdays and anniversaries, for example, and that did have an effect on my deep sleep, and it had an effect on my overall sleep as well. So let's look at my sleep stats now in 2020. If you think back to my sleep stats from 2019, they were good as far as overall time is concerned, 7 hours 34, 7 hours 49, 7 hours 10. But my deep sleep, the rejuvenating sleep, only accounted for 8 to 17% of the overall total, and that's not enough. So here's my stats for 2020, August 2020, and even on the 2 nights when I only managed to get 5 hours 30, for some reason, my deep sleep was between 28 and 34%, and that's up from 8 and 17%. So this change took me about 10 months to work out, going through all the experiments and practicing with the factors that we've discussed so far. So what's happening in 2021? So just to show you that it is still working, my sleep stats from the 19th, 20th and 21st of January 2021, I've chose the last 3 days because I'm preparing this on the 21st of January. You can see my overall sleep is still good, 7 hours 36, 6 hours 57 and 8 hours and 7. What is even better is my deep sleep is 2 hours 10, 2 hours 32 and 2 hours 48 of deep sleep, which is 29%, 36% and 34% respectively. And these scores in my eyes are very, very good indeed. So let's look at what you might want to do as part of your experiment. If you'd like to improve not only your overall sleep, but more importantly, your deep regenerating sleep, it's not going to take you 10 or 11 months like it took me. If I was you and you'd like to do it, then I would do these things, possibly in this order. So the first thing would be to get hold of a sleep monitor so you can actually track your overall and deep sleep so you can see if what you're doing is making a difference. The next thing would be to control the temperature of the bedroom so that it's at a temperature that you like. Also consider taking a warm shower before you jump into bed. Then getting hold of a cheap sleep mask, and you can see the one on Amazon is only $13. Music, you can start listening to music almost straight away. There's no need to wait until you've got your mask and your temperature sorted out. You can find out the music that you find most relaxing, and then finally, if you think that you need to, then you can invest, if you haven't already got, in blackout curtains. That said, to get good quality blackout curtains that do completely black out the room, they can be quite expensive. So those are the things that you could possibly do if you wanted to improve your deep regenerating sleep. Well, I hope you found that interesting or informative, hopefully both. I think when you look at the benefits that we get from deep rejuvenating sleep, wearing a mask at night, taking a warm shower before we go to bed, and listening to soothing music, it's definitely worth a try. Let me know in the comments below if you do use any of these techniques and you do get good deep sleep. Probably more importantly, if you don't and you do get a small amount of deep sleep, if you try any of these techniques and it does actually improve your deep sleep stats, I'd be interested to see that. Come back in a week, 2 weeks, a month, 6 months, and leave your comments in the section below. Deep sleep is important, and I think it rates very highly, also probably on a scale with sarcopenia, in that they have devastating effects on us, and there's very little that we need to do to actually put some of these things right. I'm probably going to do a series on sleep in the same way as I'm going to do a series on sarcopenia, or I'm doing a series on sarcopenia. Well, that's it for today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. As always, please take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.